Hey everyone, we're going to go over Pythagorean theorem. This also should be a review for you guys. But the Pythagorean theorem says that we're going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So what do these a, b, and c stand for? A and b are just the sides of our triangle. So these right here are our sides of our triangle. And then c stands for our longest side or our hypotenuse. So we're going to put C right here. Now this only works when we have right triangles. So when we don't have right triangles, we can't use Pythagorean theorem. We can only use this when we have this little symbol right here at the corner. We have exactly 90 degrees. Let's look at an example. So in this first triangle, we have x, 3, and 5. We're going to try to find the length of the missing side x. So we're going to do a squared, which is x squared, plus b squared, which is 3 squared, equals c squared, which is our hypotenuse, so it's going to be 5 squared. So we're going to be left with x squared equals 25 minus 9. 25 minus 9 is 16. And the square root, to cancel this square over here, we're going to take the square root. So we know that x equals 4. All right, now let's move on to our second example. So we have a 12, a 5, and an x. 12 squared plus 5 squared equals x squared. We can simply solve this. We have 144 plus 25 equals x squared. Then we need to take the square root of x to cancel that square. And we're left with a total of x equals 13. We can do the same thing for our next example. So we have a 6, and an x. So we're going to do 6 squared plus 6 squared equals x squared. Now, a question I get asked a lot is, how do we know which side is our hypotenuse if these aren't drawn to scale? What we're going to look for is we're going to look for our angle that is 90 degrees, and our hypotenuse is always opposite of our 90-degree angle. So C is always opposite of the 90-degree angle. So in this case, we're going to have 36 plus 36 equals x squared. We're going to take the square root to cancel that x squared and square root of this whole thing. And that actually gives us a fraction. So we're just going to leave that as x equals 6 the square root of 2. We could also get a decimal, which is 8.49. Last but not least, we're going to do our last example. So we have a squared, which is x squared, plus b squared, 4 squared, equals 8 squared. It doesn't matter which order you choose, a or b, as long as a and b are your side lengths of your triangle. So we knew that our hypotenuse was 8 because it's opposite of our right angle. So we're going to be left with x squared equals, well, let's subtract this 4 squared to get it off this side. We're going to have 8 squared minus 4 squared. We'll do the square root of that to get rid of that square. And then now we're left with x equals 4 the square root of 3, or 6.93 as a decimal.